In the 2 hours that passed, the streets were deserted.
Hello, Dungeon fans. It's Saturday night. Tonight we're playing the Apocrypha Adventure Card Game on the Liching Hour. I'm Kevin from Level 9. Tonight's mission is the Law of Thermodynamics in the Book of the Damned. We are rejoining Frank and Gabriella as they are returning from the Mojave back to their motel. Gabrielle had just executed a demon. Sort of, kind of at the behest of another demon, which really messed with Frank's head. The bigger goal, though, is Gabrielle's on the hunt for all these contracts that have been signed by the other Novum with the Novum of the Damned. He holds them under contract. Somehow they got out. We're now chasing after all of them. Well, Gabrielle and Frank are. Frank... he's not comfortable with the whole situation at all. He came into Vegas with a single purpose, and he has not gotten that purpose. He has not fulfilled that purpose, and he's been feeling like a fish out of water. But then on the way back, Gabrielle frames it up for him a little differently than she has before. She had been hitting him with like, look, there's a greater thing going on here. There's a bigger thing going on here that we are part of something that's much bigger than him in Chicago fighting skinwalkers. And this is the next step in doing that. And they have a huge opportunity with finding these contracts, yada, yada. That wasn't getting through to him. Gabrielle turned to him after she killed the one. She goes, you might think that we're working for demons, but when everything is said and done and we have what we want, I'm cleaning Vegas up. And I'm going to kill every fucking last demon I see. Now, that gets through to Frank. Because Frank knows all about the desire of cleaning up a city, no less. And he hadn't really thought of it that way. And so, Frank, on the way back, starts thinking suddenly, in a different light, that maybe he's not a fish out of water. Maybe he's a shark in a new hunting territory. And that just clicks for him. And by the time they get back to the motel, they talk again. And he tells her he's in to the whole way. If they find Jerome's contract, great. He wants to, obviously still wants to do that. But he's in it to clean up Vegas. And also part of that is him coming to terms with the fact that he's changing. There's something about him that he's learning new things about himself. Gabrielle has kind of helped him in that respect, but all the saints are finding out new things about themselves. Frank also has, on the way back, because he's sitting on the back of the bike and Gabrielle's driving, he rolls up his sleeve, and he's had a tattoo his whole life. Ever he's always remembered that looked a bit like a scarab with it looked a little bit like a scarab with an odd symbol in the middle. It's been itching lately. He doesn't know why. Feels like it's crawling. Ever since actually ever since that this night when they were coming home, that's when he starts feeling it on the bike. A couple things during just flashbacks. He and Gabrielle were at one point surrounded by this darkness, and this is the second time it happened, where she touched him, and like this feeling he'd never felt before shot through his body and hers, and this light just burst out of both of them and disintegrated the light, the shadows. This isn't something that Gabrielle has had happen before quite a bit, but she's had similar things begin happening the last year or so. They give her kind of it's a more of an emotional thing, and Frank wasn't quite prepared for it. But now that it's happened a few times, this tattoo that it's not a tattoo, it's a birthmark. Yeah. Is it a birthmark? Sure, it's a birthmark. It's felt like it's coming alive. He absently scratches at it the rest of the night. Now they're holding on to the contracts. They get back to the motel, and they've got 3 contracts now, in these sealed kind of high-tech kind of cartridges. They don't want to send them by mail. Gabrielle really wishes to send it to Dr. C's, and Dr. C's and her have talked about some way of trusting someone to carry them to him, but when it comes down to it, they're just so important that she's too afraid to let them out of her grasp. So they're holding on to them. They're sending Dr. Z's pictures of them with her phone. They figured they can go that far. Even though Gabrielle and Zeus know that Aleph could completely watch and be monitoring them, but Zeus and Sam feel confident that there's a good peace thing going on. They're still in Seattle. They haven't gone north yet, and they've gone on a regular basis to visit the little robot community they've created in the first floor of Aleph's building, and they feel like there's a good thing going there, and so. And Gabrielle was there too, and they kind of made not necessarily peace, but yeah, I'd say they made peace with Aleph and his children. So they're taking the chance. They're taking the pictures and sending it to Zeus for him to study. Now that Frank is feeling better, not better, but he's not in his funk, like I got to get the hell out of here. I got to get the next couple days they're able to relax a little bit. Gabrielle knows that Crystal's going to call again. She knows demons way better than maybe the demons realize she knows them, but she knows that there's going to be if there's another reason for Crystal to gain a little bit of power or take over some turf or lose a little competition, she's going to take it. And sure enough, they get a note. They wake up in the morning and there's a note under the door, which is definitely unsettling. They decide they're going to move again. And they move to a different hotel again that day, another motel across town. But the note was that it was an address outside of the city. And actually, no, you know what? I'll say it was a note to call. There was a double message here. One, the message was to call Crystal, the demon, that there's kind of their informant. The other message was the fact that she knew where they were. So Crystal's playing little games, letting them know that she's keeping tabs on where they are around city. So they moved immediately that day. Gabrielle calls Crystal. She doesn't mention. She calls the number. She doesn't mention anything about, the location and why she knows where they are, that kind of thing, because she knows that Demon's just playing games anyway. And Crystal tells her that she's heard rumors of someone else, another demon who possesses one of the contracts that's been circulating. She's not sure if he has a buyer. She knows that he might have a buyer, or it might have a buyer, but she's not sure if it's been sold or not yet. She does know that the demon calls himself Wombwell. He likes to frequent places outside of Las Vegas, and she's pretty sure a good place to find him would be this little county fair, like permanent county fair that's outside Las Vegas and still in Clark County, but a little farther out, at the edges of the county. And she's figured, go there, you can find him. He'll either have the contract on him, or he would have sold it and be able to find out. They'll be able to find out where it is. And of course, it'd be preferred that Wombwell doesn't make it back out, but she doesn't need to tell Gabriella that, because Gabriella's just going to do what Gabrielle does, she says. That's the last word she says to her. Gabrielle's no dummy. Crystal is totally using them and knowing that they're going to kill the demon, and probably knows that she's going to, if she gets caught at some point, Gabrielle's going to kill her too. She's smart. They're both getting something out of this for now. So Gabrielle and Frank pack up that night. Not that they don't pack up, but they pack up, they move to another motel. They need to find out. You know what? No. Instead of moving to motel, this is 2019, she has Zeus find her an Airbnb home in a nice little suburb somewhere, and they a nice little nice little suburb somewhere. Zeus sets it up so it's not necessarily traceable. Gabrielle didn't put her name on either Frank, and they move as quietly and as discreetly as they can to this Airbnb home. And that's their base of operations now. And now they're taking off that evening to go out to this, they find this county park she was talking about, and they head out there. And that's where we join them now. Okay, so this mission's called Law of Thermodynamics. The like all the missions in Book of Damn, though, the location nexuses were randomly determined, but the structure of it isn't, and the powers of the thing is. So what's cool with this one, I'll see what happens, but there's a gambling mechanic in the Book of the Damned where where you can gamble dice if you're instructed to. When I go to roll something, I could gamble some of the dice, which means I could re-roll them. But I get a free re-roll, however many I want to gamble. But for every odd die that comes up, I have to trash that die. And this particular mission, I have a chance to, on all evaluate steps, I have a chance to gamble up to the amount of dice matching the target of whatever it is. So if it's a rage target, I can re-roll all my rage die, or gamble them. If I don't gamble at least one die, I put a death card up next to that nexus. And then at the start of every turn, every death card that's there, that person's turn, they have to recycle that many cards. So I gotta basically gamble at least one die every time anything we do. And that is basically that. It's a hot night, super hot night. Out in the Mojave, even with the night setting, it's still really warm. Gabrielle they know that it's going to get pretty cold early in the morning, but for now, it's still hot, and they head out in the hot heat. It doesn't take them long, maybe like 45 minutes and they see the lights of this fair before they get to it. Off in the distance, looks like a spaceship's landed. And as they pull it up, it's It's a Thursday night. There's quite a bit of business, a lot of like high school kids on dates and things like that. Uh, Not a huge amount of people, but enough. And so yeah, she parks her bike and they get out and walk into the fair. We're starting Gabrielle with, she's got a dream snare, she got some snakeskin boots on, she got a blunderbuss, sweet, wishful thinking, and an omen of doom. Okay, we have to close each location. There's 3 locations. We got to close each one in sequence. There is a minion, a true threat minion that's worked into the Omen deck. So we might have to deal with a minion as we draw from the Omen deck. And I think that is enough for setup. Let's do this. Shall we? First Omen of the night. I like it. Good karma. Okay. All right, so Fun Park. Doom. During the evaluate step, you trash the highest body die. Okay. To seal it, I gotta roll 1 die. If the result is odd, sacrifice 1 gift. If it's even, discard 1 gift. I like it. We're gonna play another Omen of Doom. And evaluate, trash the highest mind die. So I gotta trash mind die and body die. So hopefully I don't have that kind of check. And it is that kind of check. All right, let's roll. So of course, trash the highest mind die, trash the highest body die. The 2 checks, mind and body. Sweet. Okay. Could really use some bruiser help here. So let's see. As Gabrielle, as they're walking in, there are some biker folk just outside the main gate, just kind of loitering there, smoking cigarettes, chatting. Gabrielle glances at them. Does she have the thought to talk to them? She might. Let's see. I don't want to use wishful thinking right now. Wow. So the snakeskin boots, when she has symbols, when charming or sensing, this is a charm card, so she's got charm, so she's gonna charm them. She can discard this to add her rage dice, which should be 3 whole dice. So body, she did symbol body, which is 3. She's got 3, and then we're going to discard this, the boots, to add her rage dice. So we're going to have to discard the highest body die because of the Fun Park thing, but she's got 3 additional dice there. Oh, and 1 of these because she has charm of 1. All right, yep. Okay, so she's got to ditch her highest body die. It's one of these, 6, 9, and 12. She only needed a 10 in body. All right, so Gabrielle looks at him, looks away, and then looks back and goes, you know what? These are my people. So she walks over. Now, Gabriella, they say that 99% of bikers aren't the stereotypical drug dealer, nasty, violent ones. And Gabrielle happens to be one of the 1%ers. And that was kind of her life for quite a while. So when she walks up like she's queen biker, and they react inappropriately. And with the snakeskin boots and the tough demeanor, it doesn't take her long, and a smile, right? It doesn't take her long to get these guys in her thrall. And she tells them that she's here, her and her friend, who looks like looks like a hardcore cop. They're a little leery of him, but it's cool. It's cool because she's queen bitch, and she tells them that she could really use some backup in here. They look like they're formidable fellows, peeps, And yeah, we know. And then, are you locals? Because we could use some help. Like, yeah, what are you doing? You got a deal going on in here? You got something? And she goes, yeah, sort of. Uh, why don't you guys come in, trail them behind us a little bit, and have our back? And they say yes. I'm gonna put them in our hand. Gabrielle gives Frank a little like, got this kind of thing. He just smiles and looks away with his cop eyes, looking at everything. All right. She is not going to. Oh shit! I needed to gamble a die. I'm gonna gamble a die. One. Odd. I had to trash it. Okay, fine. I still had enough. I had a lot of dice. You will allow me this little backup. Okay. I gotta remember. Gotta gamble at least one die every time. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. I'm gonna pass the turn to Frank. Frank, he's walking in here. He's got the birthmark. It's a shutterbug. That's what this card represents. The Halligan bar. He's ready for some violence. Murder bar. Yeah, and deviltry. Yeah, Frank is in the mood for some violence, for sure. He's not opposed to the biker buddies. Backup is always good. But the mood he's in, he's all ramped up to start cleaning house of demons. Let's see. We're going to draw Omen of Doom feedback. That's the one she just played. That's the discard the highest mind die. Well. So they enter in into the fair, and it doesn't take very long before they see a crowd. Like I said, it's not a huge amount of people. You can walk through pretty easily without bumping into people and stuff. But it doesn't take long to find a group gathered outside of a larger tent, and there's a barker. And as they get closer, Frank goes, "Hey, I know that one." And Gabrielle looks, and it's a very your traditional looking barker, but when you look a little closer, she can definitely tell, just because of her experience, that he is definitely a demon. He is definitely working that crowd, and he's definitely enthralling them, pitching them the mysteries that they're going to see inside the tent. And he could end it at any time. I mean, they would definitely go inside the tent, but there's something he's getting from these enraptured eyes and smiles and nods, that he's just kind of draining them of their excitement. In fact, Gabrielle, just her hunch, thinks that when he does stop, they're probably just going to go wandering away and not even go in the tent, because he will have stripped them of all the excitement that they might have had, and curiosity. He's feeding on it. This is Frank, right? Frank goes, "I know this one." So Frank shoulders through the crowd. He stands in front, and Wombwell looks down at him, and then looks and goes, here's a man who should be in the tent himself. Look at this, a stalwart warrior, he's Frank looks a little, yeah. Wombwell's gonna paint him as a Viking, a man from the north. Look, you could easily put a helmet with horns on him and a great axe. Look at this. They used to throw money and gold at men like this back in the days. I'm gonna take this a little bit from Sin City, because that was such a great fucking thing. They would have thrown women and men at this time, but nowadays, now he's oddly out of place, he says, and he goes quiet. And when he goes quiet, all the people that are surrounding, watching, they all turn and look at Frank, and Wombwell's staring at him, and everybody else is, and it becomes quiet and very uncomfortable. And what are you going to do, Frank? Well, Frank is feeling violent. What do we got here? We got a body and soul. We're going body. That's what we're doing. Evaluate trash the highest mind die. Cool, we don't have to worry about that. Trash the highest body die. We do have to worry about that. We want to gamble dice. Okay. he's going to have to... He's not going to start wailing on this crowd, but Wombwell's trying to intimidate him to get him to leave. Solely out of place. Okay. Body 3. Well, hold on. We're gonna mutate because Gabriella's there, and she's got her bruiser buddies who are gonna help. So we're definitely mutating. Let's find out where. We're gonna find out what mutation. This is 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's radiant is the mutation. We're gonna roll mutate. Yeah. A 6. A symbol. Exchange 1 bonus die with any 1 virtue die. Okay. All right. What is his wicked and conjure? Let's see. Let's try to play a card that I can play a bonus die so I can do that. Okay. Frank's body is 3. I think Frank's plan is he's gonna move faster than Wombwell's probably expecting. He's gonna grab him and bring him down into the dirt with him, and make him kneel in front of all the people that he's got enthralled, or at least bring him close to talk to him. Okay, 3 body. All right, Frank, we're gonna do everything with you. Okay, he's got the Halligan bar, so. So discarding and boosting and assembling the powers, the exact same thing. Tool and strike. Yes. All right, so Frank is going to play the Halligan bar. It's got a tag of strike. He has a tag of strike of 2. His strike is 2, so that's 2 bonus dice. Where's my discard? There it is. He's discarding that. And then... Okay, that's it from him, from his hand. Gabriella, I think, yep, a symbol. She can, Gabrielle turns and looks at these guys, looks at the guys she kind of talked to, the biker dudes, and she does one of these, and they look and see Frank in the middle of these people, and then Wombwell, and Frank looking up this dude, so they start moving in. They're going to help maintain the crowd. So she's going to discard this. She could, during a symbol, she could, for anybody else at the location, she can discard this to add 1 body die. So we're definitely going to do that. And then, ooh, do I want to? I think I don't want to mess around. We're gonna beat him. We're gonna beat him down. He's gonna escape, but we don't want to lose to him. That's the thing. Oh, wait. Initiate. Suffer soul damage equal to your number of contracted cards. He has no contracted cards, so he suffers no damage. Blunderbuss comes out. This is pretty sweet. A symbol versus a threat. Discard, add 1 rage die. This is for anybody at her location, her or anybody else. We can add 1 rage die if you're skilled in strike, and she is, and so are they. You get to add 1 mind or soul die. Well, we have to discard a mind die. So she's drawing her blunderbuss and walking through the crowd. We're going to add a rage die and a soul die. Got lots of dice going on here. And that's a discard. What else is she doing? She's got a couple things that'll help when in process. This is a lot of dice. Oh, we get the, where did that? Exchange 1 bonus die with any 1 virtue die. We're going to exchange this with a, we'll do rage. Okay. So, I'm going to roll, and then I'm going to gamble. That's what you roll. You gamble after you roll. And I need a 16 out of 3. Oh, I got lots of dice flying everywhere. That one came. Oh, look at this. All right. Well, I'm going to gamble. I'm going to, yeah, because I have to, okay, hold up. First off, I have to trash the highest body die. That's this one. I'll trash that one. I'm going to gamble this, just 1 die. Yeah. It says, gamble all your dice match. Oh, wait. You may gamble all your dice matching the target. That's okay because I don't have to worry about losing it because I have 18 right here. So I'm going to go ahead and just, if I have, for every odd, I have to trash them. That's an even. These 2 are 5s or odds, so those are trashed. I fulfilled my obligation of doing that, so I'm not going to add a death to it. Not that it matters, actually, because we're about to seal this. All right. Wombwell was not prepared for what just happens. It was almost like these. It's almost like Frank, Gabrielle are like really experienced in doing stuff like this, because Frank moves forward faster than Wombwell expected, grabs him, brings him down in the dirt with him, down off his little podium. He's holding him like this. Wombwell starts smiling, thinking and he looks out, in a silent kind of push to get the crowd. And sure enough, the crowd starts moving, but suddenly there's these big dudes in front of them, and this chick comes out of nowhere with this huge nasty gun, and she's pointed at people. One of the audience is coming, and then she points it at. And once the bikers said they back off, the bikers are in the middle. She points the blunderbuss at Wombwell, and Frank says, "You, I think you got something of ours." Of course I do. He says, "I have whatever you want, and whatever you need, actually." And he looks at kind of warily at Gabriella. And Frank says, "Shut up, demon. Shut up. You have a contract for a novum, and we want it." And Wombwell says, "You know, I do. And are you looking to buy?" He says, when he's like this. Frank says, in a manner of speaking, yes. Well, we can do a deal. I will tell you, I already have a buyer lined up. Do you think you could offer more than what the buyer could offer? And Gabrielle steps closer and puts the blunderbuss right up to his head, and the barrel of the blunderbuss is like this big around. It's like, and Wombwell looks like this, and looks back at and Frank, and let's see how we do this. Frank says, "Well, we're gonna start with your life, and then we'll talk more once we have the contract." And Wombwell smiles a really big smile. He says, "Look, you know, I don't have the contract on me at the moment. A courier of mine has it where at the location of the deal it's going to be made. I'm going to be going to that location. Was supposed to be going to that location pretty soon. Why don't we meet there?" Frank looks at Gabrielle, and Frank looks at Gabrielle. Gabrielle squints her eyes, and then Frank looks back and kind of makes the decision. He lowers Wombwell down. He's like, "Where is this?" Where's the lake? Where is the lake? There is a big lake in that area. Lake Mead. It's a camping spot at Lake Mead. Not far. We could go together. And then he said, "Let me down. If you're not going to kill me, why don't you just let me down?" Frank lets him down, and then he turns to talk to Gabrielle. When he does that, he doesn't even know how Wombwell gets out of his hands. Yeah. He looks back as he's just holding smoke. And he looks and he sees a tent flapping just a little bit. They race in the tent, and it's empty. There's nothing in the tent. There nothing at all, even including Wombwell. He's vanished as well. So Wombwell's going to escape to one of these other locations, and we got to figure out which one. We got to draw. We need an omen, I think, right? Hold on. I haven't done the whole escape thing in a while. If you won, draw a number of new omens equal to the number. Yep. -7, 7. Shuffle the new pile. Yes. Okay. Excuse me. One new omen. Here we go. All right. This area is sealed, which is awesome. Okay. We're heading to the lake. Got a better idea. It's gonna go down because I'm sometimes very literal, but I need it to help for my brain. Frank's holding Wombwell, and he looks at Gabrielle, and Gabrielle says, I could put the sidecar on. And oh no, she looks at other biker. She looks at one of the other bikers and says, "You mind giving somebody a ride? You boys mind going for a ride with us?" And they, yeah. So Frank doesn't let go of Wombwell. He doesn't want him out of his sight. Out of his sight. He takes him, and they got to figure out how they're going to take him. So he asks him where. No. So they put him on the bike of one of the bikers in the back, right? Maybe they got some handcuffs. And they make that guy go in the front because Wombwell's going to tell him where to go. So they start out fine. And they're driving. It's about 25 minutes, 30 minutes. They're all following in line. Or no, there's two kind of Frank and Gabrielle and this other guy kind of flanking a little bit, the lead dude, who's got Wombwell in the back. And they get in the vicinity of Lake Mead. They turn down a little side, like a dirt road, side road. And they're coming up on, they see a sign for one of the various, probably many camping sites around Lake Mead. And they're pulling up. Yeah. They're pulling up to one. They see the night sky, and they're pulling up, and they see that it's like it's a smaller, out of the way kind of campground. They follow down another trail, and it's a smaller one with a couple fire pits. It looks like it's looking out over the lake. Looks like there's a cliff, and they're driving up, but the guy on the bike with Wombwell keeps driving, and they're like, and suddenly, and Gabrielle realizes what they're doing, and so does Frank. And they start screaming, they get off, and they don't want to shoot because they don't want to shoot him. So Frank takes a shot at the tires, even though he doesn't necessarily want to, and so does he does. And he misses, though, and the bike goes jumping off a cliff. Just drives right off the cliff, taking Wombwell and this biker with him. And they rush over to the side, and Wombwell, the bike and the guys kind of part, and then they hit the water. And for a second, Frank and Gabrielle, they look at each other, and neither one of them, and did you see Wombwell hit the water? And I saw him falling, but I didn't see him hit the water. Neither did I. So, we're at the lake. One biker's dead. We got the other biker with us, maybe a couple others. Frank and Gabrielle, and they're a little. They're not sure if the campsite they're at was the place where they're going to meet the where Wombwell's going to meet the buyer, but it's a place to start. Okay, that was the end of Frank's turn. He's going to draw back up. Frank's got more murder on his mind. Okay, that's where we're at. Wombwell talked the guy into killing himself. Typical demon. All right. It's Gabriella's turn. Horror show. All right, the lake. During the initiate, suffer 1 body damage. Okie dokie. Well, she doesn't have any body. She's cards, so she's got to sacrifice one of these. She discards Dream Snare. She doesn't have a lot of cards in her hand. Actually, she's got 2 Omens and a Wishful Thinking because she spent 2 cards to help take care of Wombwell right in the beginning. That said, I don't think she's going to... I'm wondering if she's going to do anything. Well, she's got to gamble anyway. You know what? Does he have an Omen of... No, he doesn't have an Omen of Hope. Hold on. Did she draw? She did. Crap. You know what I keep forgetting? I keep forgetting that one of Frank's powers is when he wins versus a threat. Oh, well, I didn't want to do that anyway. He discards a card, examines the top card of the clock. If it's an Omen, he gets to draw it. Actually, it is... I just got to remember it for next time. Does she want to do this with 3 cards? What does the lake do on the other side? You may suffer 2 body damage to investigate and flip this nexus. Why would I want to do that? Okay, so what I can do is flip this with an Omen of Hope just so that Frank doesn't take a hit of body damage. I can do that. Here. And a symbol using soul, add 1 bonus die. Oh, she drew an Omen of Doom. That's it. She's not going to draw anymore. Or do anything further. Show 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Frank. Omen of Hope. Sustenance. Oh, he takes... No, wait. That should have been flipped. Okay. He drew an Omen of Hope, which is great because he can play this. Do not flip that back over. And a symbol using body, add 1 bonus die. All right. Omen of Doom. Okay. I'd rather do that. I think. Don't want. Yeah, we gotta keep moving. Well, we went through a deck pretty quickly. Sure. It's gonna be Doom anyway. All right, flip this over. Wait. Oh, I don't know. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's got a body card that I don't want her to lose. I think it is a Gearbox. Evaluate, flip 2 dice. It's not the best, but still. Well, I guess she could lose it. We're not going to be able to avoid. Okay, fine. He's got to recycle 1 random card. At least it's a recycle. Recycling a murder board. All right. Well, they're staring off the cliff, and then they look at each other and like they can't. Neither one of them saw. They saw Wombwell falling, but they didn't see him hit the water. I could swear. And it is the full. It is a there's not necessarily a full moon, but the moonlight is illuminating everything. So, but there are some shadows, so they're not sure if it's just a trick of the light or not. And they look at the other bikers who are like kind of sitting there, couldn't believe their friend just died. And then there's a cough, and they all turn around, and behind them is this. A sphinx. Just sitting there. Is it going to be sitting there? Let's see. Body and soul. We'll have it standing there. It's standing there. It coughs. Totally freaks the biker dudes out. I don't think they're going to be sticking around. I think they're going to run. And yeah. Frank doesn't even need to look at Gabrielle to know that this is probably, I mean, they both know instantly this is, if Wombwell had a guy that was here delivering or holding onto the contract, it was probably this big old MFer. So it's got the body of a lion, a person's head, a woman's head, and then wings of an eagle. And it spreads its wings, going for the intimidation tactic, which doesn't work on Frank. Nope. Frank is, well, he's got to do body. Let's see how well this goes. He recycled his card. Okay, that was a flip, so he doesn't have to suffer that. We're definitely going to mutate. I don't know how well this is going to go. We'll see. Gabrielle has a bunch of things that help on the evaluate step. So let's definitely mutate this card. Which mutation is number 2? That's going to be 1, 2, fiery. Okay, let's roll on it. A 4. Confront. Sacrifice any ally gift played. All right, so if I play any ally gift, I gotta sacrifice it. Okay. Too bad I don't have I don't have in my hand because I had to discard it, the bruiser, because then I could play off. That'd be the other bikers like freaking out and running. Okay. All right. Starting off, Frank has 3 body dice. We need 15. He doesn't have any body cards. The Shutterbug assembles using rage. Evaluate, shuffle. Gamble up to a number of dice equal to your rage virtue. But it's an ally gift, and if he uses it, he'll have to sacrifice it, so I don't want to use that. This thing's wicked and conjure. He definitely has neither of those. So what can Gabrielle do? Oh, the gearbox won't help. Oh, geez, this is not going to go well. We have no more dice we kind of blew it. No more dice to add. So Frank just flat out runs at this thing. It's trying to intimidate them. He's not intimidated. He's running at it. He's going to be able to re-roll 3 of these. He's going to be able to gamble 3 of them. We'll see what happens. Actually, gambling's not... You got to be shit. Wow. Wow, guys. I am good. No. Frank is good. Frank is good. So this thing's... they all turn around. The biker dudes are doing exactly what the Sphinx figured they would do. They're shitting their pants and trying to scurry away as fast as they can. Frank, not even a second, and he's booking full force at this thing. And it kind of looks like a little surprised, and before you know it, he's got it around, like it's got some fur here, and when he gets up to it, it's actually only stands like maybe a head taller than him, or a couple heads taller than him. So he grabs its face. It's got fur around its and like a woman's face. And he grabs his face, and then he just what's he gonna do? He grabs one side of its head and he just starts pounding in this lady's face. It rears up, but he holds on, and he holds on in a way that he still keep punching its face, and it can't get it with him. It can't get at him with his paws. Maybe it goes up, but Gabrielle's already there. and she's got a gun to it, and he's punching, it falls down, and it's trying to bite. Well, she can't bite because she doesn't have fangs or anything like that. All she's got is her. It's not, the Sphinx isn't a fighter. It expected some clever wordplay and stuff like that. It didn't expect Frank, and they got it. And so it's down. He's around it. He's got his arm around its throat, and then Gabrielle kind of gets down on her haunches and puts a blunderbuss to its head. And they say, she says, "Do you have the contract?" Just skipping right to the point. It says, no, I don't have the contract. You sure about that? And Frank squeezes harder, and this thing's eyes start popping out a little bit, and Gabrielle pulls back the hammer on the blunderbuss, the huge blunderbuss, and oh, I didn't gamble, by the way, but that's okay. I didn't gamble, and that's okay. Another proof, if you've been watching this, you know that I'm actually coming up with all this on the fly. There's only a little bit of pre-thinking going on. Not really any pre-planning either. Okay. She says, "One of my associates, could you let me breathe? Okay." No, it's laying on its side. One of its wings kind of like, it's kind of scrapping in the dirt a little bit. "Would you let me breathe?" And he lets up a little bit, and it starts going. It starts saying, a child walks in the morning, crawls in the morning, and a child walks in the morning, and before she can say the next line, Frank punches it again in the head, like one time, and then a couple more times, and he whispers, he goes, "I don't want your fucking riddles." Okay. Sorry, yes. The associate who has the contract went to get smokes. Okay. Where's that? And then they both almost immediately look at each other, Gabrielle and Frank, and say I'm borrowing this. It's great because it's great. S-smart. They say it to both at the same time because they passed on the way to the lake on the stretch of road that going. There was about 15 minutes outside of the lake was an S-smart that looked like it was open 24/7. And the Sphinx eyes roll up, and he goes, yes, the S-smart. It says like it was like dirty to say that. Frank says, that's great. Frank says, "You're going to fly me there." And Gabrielle looks surprised, but Frank goes and holds it, and then he lets up, and the Sphinx takes the cue and kind of gets up. Well, I've had worse experiences, it says. "Yeah, you're going to take us to, is it? Because I'm going to make sure that the S-Mart's where we're supposed to go." "Well, of course. It kind of shakes itself off. And Gabrielle's like, "Yeah, I'm going to follow you on the bike." And so the reason why I'm doing that is because, so this is a contracted thing. So we win, we contract this, which means he slots it. And then while contracted, play the first gift of your turn. Lower its cost by 2, then bury 1 random card. Okay. So that gets to happen every time I play the first gift of a turn. We need to shit. We don't need to shit. I'm sorry. Shit. We need to seal this. It's not automatically sealed. This is a B minion. which means, yeah. May go to, not a B minion, I'm sorry, a minion A, which means go to sanctify. You gotta sanctify, and sanctify is win versus a new threat. So, the Sphinx gets up and says, I will take you, but you're gonna have to deal with him first. And Frank looks, and Gabrielle looks, and we all look, and you're gonna have to deal with them. And these other people come out of the darkness, like 2 or 3 people, and yeah. And unfortunately, it's not Gabrielle. But fortunately, actually, it don't matter. Because Frank's like, Frank goes, yeah, it's not a problem. Don't go anywhere. How's he going to do this? No. He's not going to get off him. Okay, here, let's take care of it. Let's set this up. So, it's a 10 rage. Well, that's Frank's wheelhouse. We got four rage dice, and we got the Shutterbug. A symbol using rage. This is no longer playing on the mutate. This is a new card, so we don't have to worry about getting rid of an ally gift. He gets to shuffle this to stake 1 gift. Staking a gift means that I can put a card up. Okay. Staking. Told in symbol you may display 1 gift, add 1 die matching that gift's type. Okay, so I don't need to do that because I'd rather just boost rage. It gets me the same thing. This is what's cool about this is it lets me do it for anybody anywhere. During evaluate, I can shuffle to gamble up a number of dice equal to your rage virtue. I'm not even going to worry about that. I think. Wait, and then I got the Reaper. Discard a symbol using rage. Discard, add 2 rage dice. Okay, so I get to discard and add 2 rage dice. I'm going to do that. I got an idea exactly what's about to happen here. All right, 2 rage dice. Don't mind if I do. Assemble using rage. Recycle 1 card, add 1 rage die. That's one of his powers. So we're going to recycle this Omen of Doom and add another rage die. And then I'm not going to mess around because I want to seal this lake and get out of here. And then she's got something she can do to help on the back end. So we're rolling all these dice. I'm not going to mutate the card, though. We're going to be gambling. We only need 10. I'm going to gamble this one right here. Oh, wait, no, I have to gamble all 4 of my dice. I don't need to. I'm going to close it. I don't need to gamble. Don't even worry about it. All right. So he goes, but you're going to have to deal with them first, she says. And he looks around. He goes, not a problem. And he grabs her by like part of her hair right here at the head, and or a little bit further down, and he pulls out his. Does Frank have a machete? Does he actually have a Reaper? Or does he have a big knife? He pulls out his gun. We'll say that. I don't see Frank, a cop, walking around with a machete or a big knife. He'd have his gun. The cards just represent his ferocity. He pulls out his gun and he goes, turn, and he turns, and she turns, and then he looks at him and he goes run at them. And he starts yelling, and he starts popping off shots in the air and then shooting down, and then putting it down and shooting at the ground around them, and they scatter within seconds. Whoa, they go running off into the woods, and the Sphinx goes like this and goes, you didn't have to pull so hard. Right, whatever. All right, let's fly. And he grabs on tighter and take us to the S-Mart. And so the Sphinx goes up, and so Frank, this is so out of character for Frank. Well, the Frank, if you would have known the Frank that came from Chicago, in Chicago for the being on the force for like 30 years in Chicago, this would have blown you away that he would have done any of this, even thought of writing the Sphinx. For some reason, he was not surprised by the Sphinx. He's not intimidated by the Sphinx, and he's not afraid to ride the Sphinx. Why is that? Why does he feel so comfortable? He's not a man used to self-reflection. He's been having lots of flashes of self-reflection in the last few weeks. He has that question hits his brain, hits his mind as it lifts up. What am I doing, and why do I feel so comfortable doing it? But then it's gone because he's flying over trees, and Gabrielle's on a bike down below. And you can hear her bike and see her down, and they're flying out of the Lake Mead area towards the S-Mart. We're whipping through these. It's just one of those nights. There's no pre-planning here. There's some cool... Like, I haven't even seen this gift. Binding Crush Rage gift. I sure would like to get that. A business suit would be cool. So I did not plan to meet a minion and beat him so quickly, but I did. That's just how this game goes sometimes. S-Mart. Last location. Alright, so the associate went to get smokes and has the contract. Who's the associate? That was Frank's turn. He is drawing up to 4. And... Okay. And it's Gabrielle's turn. She's going to draw Omen of Hope Sustenance. Megamart. Resets. During the reset step, you got to first recycle 1 tool gift, otherwise suffer 1 mind damage. All right, well, we're not resetting yet. We're going to flip that sucker to Hope. So, 10, 15 minutes later, he sees from above, he sees the S-Mart. I mean, it's one of those kind of big parking lot, S-Mart. There might be a gas station across the street, but then there's nothing across the road, but there's like nothing else for miles. It's just kind of a little oasis, convenience oasis out in the middle of nowhere. And flies down, and they land in the parking lot, just outside the parking lot. He tells her to land in the darkness, not to freak anybody out. Not that there's many cars in the parking lot. And Gabrielle pulls up, and he slides off the Sphinx. And let's see what's up. Flip your nexus to Hope. Investigate and assemble using body. Add 1 bonus die. Terminate versus a non-tool gift. You may recycle 1 tool gift to investigate again. Jeez, guys. This is a quick night. Maybe. Gabrielle pulls up, and he gets off the Sphinx. And they go... They go walking up towards the shop, the S-Mart, and suddenly these bunch of people start walking out of it. There's first one seems kind of right, then another one right behind them, and then another one, and then another one, and suddenly like 10 folk have come out of this S-Mart, and then they not go to their cars or anything. They just kind of come out and form like a semicircle in front of the doors. And then out of it, on his own, confidently, jauntily walking out is Wombwell. It was, oh, fancy meeting you here, he says. I was just thinking about you. Now, we're going to discuss your payment for the contract, or are my friends here? And we're going to say the friends, these people, on closer look, aren't necessarily of the living variety. They're not dead, but they sure as heck don't look alive. Dead eyes, very pallor demeanor. So Frank and Gabriella are sitting there standing. Looks like they got 10 ghoul type folks, and then Wombwell in the center. What are we going to do? Initiate. Suffer soul damage equal to the number of contracted cards. Well, this is Gabriella's turn, and she did not contract the Sphinx, so he has no power here. Okay, it's gonna be body. It's gonna be body. We're not gonna. Yeah, her soul is only 2 dice. Her body is 3. Frank will be able to. So we're gonna mutate. This has been a physical night. We're gonna finish it physically. Let's mutate him. 4th mutation from the top. 1, 2, 3. Oh, shiza. Okay, this is good. This is okay. Hellbound. Mutate. Roll 1 more mutation die for each of their contracted cards. For each of the virtues that is greater than the lowest number rolled, they suffer 1 rage damage. Oh, this is that terrible one that I dealt with the other night. Okay, well, she has no contracted cards, so she's not rolling that anymore. For each of the virtues that is greater than the lowest number rolled. But she still has to roll. So she needs to roll well, is what needs to happen here. Oh, check it out. Omen of Hope Sustenance, people. This is amazing. This is what she played in assembly using body, add 1 bonus die. This is the body roll. It's awesome. They're feeling pretty good. Let's roll high, and that'll be even better. Well, it's not high. Actually, to tell you the truth, it's perfect. 3. So 3, assemble trash 1 rage die and 1 body die. Yeah, you son of a bitch. There goes that bonus, man. Oh wait, no, this adds a bonus die, not a body die. Ah, I see. Okay, so the hope is still good. We're still going to lose a body die, but all right, this makes up for it. So it's good. This is why I was saying it's actually good. 3. For each of her virtues that is greater than the lowest number rolled, this is the lowest number we got, she suffers 1 rage damage. Gabrielle is one of the few that has pretty much 3, 3, 3, and a 2. So she has no 4, so she's taking no rage damage. Last time that was Frank, I believe, and he took a bunch of damage, or maybe it was her. Oh, no, it was her. So she suffers no damage from... Oh, wait, hold up. That wasn't even that. Look, okay, all that laughing and stuff, that was rock solid. I don't even have to worry about this whole ditching a body die, because that was the wrong mutation. This is the mutation we were dealing with, suffering 1 rage damage. It's not happening, because all her virtues are 3 or less. Cool. Even better. All right. So she's got 3 body dice. He's going to be able to help her reroll 3 of those. What else can we do? We got a gearbox that can either let her add a body die. Oh, wait. Hold on. We got to add a bonus die here. He's wicked in conjure. She does not have conjure. So she's got no bonus die there. I can either use gearbox to add a bonus die for boosting body, or I can evaluate, discard to flip 2 dice. Flipping is pretty cool. Flipping is cool. I might keep that. Wishful thinking. She's going to be able to gamble. We're going to be able to gamble anyway because of this. Assemble using rage. She got a finger post. That's not going to help. Well. All right, what do we got? Fleeting. We need more than 4 dice. Evaluate versus charm or soul gift. No. No. Draw their... Ooh. No, that's at the start. Sacrifice. Explode 1s and 2s. Initiate sacrifice. May give 1 gift. Oh, okay. What does he got going on over here? Frank still got the shutterbug. Initiate, recycle, choose to give 1 gift. Symbol versus no. Evaluate using rage. We're all about the rage, not so much the body right now. Okay. Nothing. Reroll any number of dice, then reroll Reroll odd dice. Okay, well that's good. Oh boy, we have no. Okay, so I think I'm gonna play Gearbox, discard it to boost body. Okay, so that adds a bonus. I can just go ahead and add this one. And then it has hack, and she has hack. So for one, hack 1. So we get to add this. So we have 6 dice. We've got a bunch of rerolls. We're gonna be able to gamble stuff. It's all good. What up, McTeddy? How's it going, man? Oh, hot shit. Hot shit. Oh, shit. Look at... Oh, okay. Wow. I've been on fire tonight. Not me. Gabriella and Frank have been on fire tonight. This has been the best one yet for them. So, Woomwell's standing there, surrounded by these ghouls. Gabrielle and Frank are standing up there, and once again, just feeling the moment, feeling the night, Gabrielle just walks straight up to him, and he gets a big smile on his face as she's coming, because Woomwell's a very proud demon. He does not feel that everything is going to be settled by him working his magic and charm and confidence, and everything's going to be, he's going to make some kind of contract, he's going to sell him on something, he's gotten grabbed, and she headbutts him. And the ghouls go to kind of start closing in, but Frank starts popping off shots and shooting them one, and and so Woomwell's got no help, and Gabrielle gets him on his knees, and he's looking up, his nose is bleeding, he's all busted up, and he tries smiling again, and she tells him, "Hey, Heroic, how's it going, man?" And she tells him, like, "You have what's mine, and I want it now. No deals. Give me it now." And Woomwell, he goes, we know about you two now. Gabrielle stares at him for a few more seconds, and then he produces the contract. Actually, he produces the tube that she's familiar seeing, and she takes it and she tosses it to Frank, who's holding off the kind of ghoulish looking people. And he pops it and he looks at it and he nods to her, and then she looks back to Woomwell, who's on his knees, and he says, we know about you now. We're expecting you. It's gonna start getting rough, and for you. And Gabrielle raises up, she brings out one of her blunderbusses, and she looks him in the eye and she goes, "Good," and then she blows his head off. One more dead demon, and with a hiss, the ghouls run off, kind of dissipate, and they hear the wings of the Sphinx take off behind them, going flying off in the night. And before they know it, they're alone in the S-Mart, just them. And they take the long way home. A lot of twists and turns, because they're trying to keep people from knowing that they got a new home base. And so the contract that they contracted, they'll find out later, has the name Ereshkigal. Ereshkigal. And she's gonna send it over to Dr. Z's when she gets back, and we'll learn more about whoever Ereshkigal is next week. For those of you who watch me on Twitch, the next 3 weekends I'm going to be out of town. I'm, however, going to be recording the 3 weeks each week. I'm going to be recording one episode of this so that I'm on schedule, and I'll be putting them up on YouTube. If I can, I'm going to stream them. If I can't, they will be on YouTube. And then when I'm back, the weekend I'm back, it will be the finale for the Book of the Damned. So that'll be exciting. So this was fun. This was a really, really, really fun night. Thanks for joining me, and I will check you later. Viva la Dungeon!